Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a healthy cooking video. I'm going to do it voiceover style, so you're going to be seeing me fix this meal. I'm going to fix salmon, asparagus, and some boiled Yukon Gold tomatoes. If you're interested, then come along. Okay guys, so I got this piece of salmon from Aldi or Aldi, whatever you call it, for just 17 bucks. I'm going to have these Yukon Gold potatoes and some asparagus. I think this whole meal legit cost me under $23. So I'm going to get my cutting board off and get the salmon washed off. I'm going to leave the skin on. I like the skin on it. I don't usually cut it off, so I'm just going to put some oil over here in my pan so that the fish doesn't stick. I kind of have the heat on like a medium high because I like to cook my salmon up high. Then I also put about maybe 1 teaspoon of butter in there as well. That helps crisp up and make the salmon skin really cook better. I'm going to use some minced garlic, which is in olive oil, maybe about a tablespoon. I always put garlic in everything. Look, I put extra. So we have the potatoes over there boiling as well so that they can get soft. Get that garlic moving around. I turn the pan down a little bit because I don't want to burn the garlic. And then I'm going to section off this salmon into pieces. I can fit it all in the pan. I do about 4-ounce portions, 4 to 6 ounce, because my husband eats a bigger piece, and so does my son, my older son. So, and then at the end, I do a couple smaller pieces for the babies, even though I just shred theirs off in the end anyway. The skin is really tough, so you have to really like get in there and get it cut really good. So you can see the garlic is cooking down. You don't want to put it too high because it'll burn really, really quickly. But because you added the butter in with the olive oil, it brings the smoking like a level up higher, so it doesn't smoke as fast, basically, if I'm saying that right. It doesn't burn as quickly. So those are my portions. I'm going to just season the skin side because I don't eat the skin, but some people do, and I always season that side as well, just in case. They say the skin's really good for you, but I just can't get with eating fish skin. So I did a little bit of salt and garlic powder. I put garlic powder on everything. I don't put as much on the skin side. Onion powder. And of course, you know, I love my paprika. It makes everything cook up so good. Paprika just gives everything like a smoky, like cooked all day. I can't even explain. Like, it just gives it a good flavor. I'm gonna put some ground black pepper. I haste that brown pepper, black pepper from Outback, y'all. Don't get me, but I love their pepper. They need to sell it. But it was only a little bit now and I took it anyway, so it's not like I took like a fully brand new pepper. Okay, I put a little bit more oil in the pan because it had cooked down or burnt off a little bit from cooking with the garlic. As soon as that temperature gets back up higher, we're going to put the fish in, skin side down. You see how nice and crispy the garlic looks? When you cook the garlic like that, it brings out a lot of flavor. I do that for my steaks as well, and like pan-seared chicken. It just gives it a really good roasted like flavor. And see how it's smoking? I have it up high so that the skin can really like crisp up. And I always cook my fish skin side down first because then it's easier to turn the fish. To me it is. I learned that off Gordon Ramsay. He says to cook the fish skin side down. And I know it looks like I'm like overcrowding the pan, but the pan is up so high that these fish are gonna cook with no problem even though they're like jammed up in the pan. I don't even know what I walked away to do right now, but I must have been tending to the babies or something. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the same seasonings on this side, but this time I'm going to add, that's what I was doing, I was getting the Montreal steak. Oh my gosh, y'all, salmon tastes so delicious when you put steak seasoning on it. I cannot even explain to you. I recently did it because I was just so tired of the like basic lemon pepper, butter, garlic type salmon. And so I put the steak seasoning on it because people always say salmon is meaty like a steak. And I did it, and it was delicious, and I don't think I'll ever cook salmon another way again. I'll always use it. And on this side, we're going to put some parsley just for some earthy, woody-like flavor, and also for color and decoration. And we're going to let them cook for a couple minutes on that side. Put all this stuff out the way. I'm going to cut up our asparagus and potatoes. The potatoes are really small, but I still cut them up maybe once or twice, like cut it in half and then in half again, just so that they can cook evenly and quicker. These potatoes cook super quick. The skins are really tender when they're done, so you don't have to peel them. They are really delicious. Like, you can make them taste like anything. You can roast them in the oven, you can boil them and then strain them and then season them however you like. With these, I'm just going to boil them in a pan, and then when they're done, I'm going to butter them up and then put some seasonings on them. Sorry guys if you hear that noise in the background. It's thunderstorming here right now while I'm doing this voiceover, so I do apologize for that. We have been doing all our cooking at home since the pandemic, since the COVID-19 coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, because it is safer and healthier to do so. You don't want to take the risk of ordering out or eating out all the time, because that's contamination can happen in your food. So cook your food at home. Plus, it's just better for you because you can control your seasonings, your portions, everything. Don't be ordering out during this pandemic, y'all. Save your money, put it towards something else. So we got those potatoes in the pot to boil, and put a lid on them so they can cook quicker, because salmon cooks pretty quickly and you want your foods all to be done at the same time so everything can be nice and hot. So look at that fish, y'all. We turned it. Look how crispy that fish skin is. That looks good. And now by this time the fish is already a little bit more than halfway cooked. So now when we flip it, it just has to cook for a few more minutes, not too long. Sometimes I will let it brown up on that side for a second, and then I'll just throw the whole pan in the oven and let it slowly cook the rest of the way. But that's totally up to you. You can finish off in a pan, or at this point you could put it in the oven. See all the little garlic bits that have stuck to the fish? Potatoes are rocking. So let's get this asparagus cut up, wash off our board. These are thin asparagus. These come from Aldi's. They're cool, but I don't really like them. I like the medium sized asparagus. I like them to have a little crunchy and texture to them, but these will do because these are what we have. So we have to cut off the bottoms. If you don't know, you can take an asparagus and snap it, and wherever it snaps, that's where you usually should cut the at the length. But I cook asparagus so much, I'm kind of an expert. I know where I like to cut it at. And then actually, a lot of times when my fish is done, I'll cook it in the same pan that the fish came out of. Or sometimes I'll put it in the oven to roast. You can pretty much cook asparagus any kind of way. Now I'm going to turn these fish over once more to make sure they're all completely done. They're looking pretty good. Look how brown and caramelized they look. And you see the skin is still on there. It's because we cooked it at a high heat. If you cook salmon at a lower heat, the skin is just going to fall right off when you go to turn it over. I know I could have got a spatula, y'all, but I probably couldn't find it. It was in a dishwasher at the time. So we went ahead and used our fingers. I wish you guys had smell-o-vision because the salmon smells delicious. Potatoes are like heavily boiling over there. And the knife is able to go through them, but they probably need a few more minutes. But I'm also going to put them back in the pan with the season, so I can take them out now as well. And then I'll cook the rest of the way with the butter and seasonings on it. I have got to get a cameraman, guys. It is so hard cooking like these nice meals and having to move the camera from one side to another side. Oh my gosh, it's such a nuisance. Okay, so we're going to get those potatoes strained. Do you guys call it a strainer or a colander? What do you call the thing that you get the water off your food in? I had this discussion on Instagram the other day, and it was hilarious that people did not know what a colander was. But that's old school. That's what like my grandma used to say, get the colander out. But I guess us younger people say strainer or drainer, but it's a colander. Look it up. Google it. So you put a little bit of salt on here, some garlic powder. You can use fresh garlic if you want. Put some pepper. A lot of pepper. And some parsley. I put parsley on everything. And I put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on the potatoes. And just give it a mix. These potatoes cook so fast, y'all. You can even cut these up and like put them in the oven with some olive oil on them and seasonings and let them roast. And my daughter loves Parmesan cheese, so we're gonna make these Parmesan potatoes. So put a little bit of that on there. Plus, when you put like Parmesan and stuff, the babies eat it too. I guess because it smells like pizza a little bit. But they actually really went in on these potatoes. So put the top on. That's fresh Parmesan cheese, so it's gonna melt, but it's not at the same time, if you know what I mean. Like Parmesan cheese keeps its consistency a little bit. So I'll put the top on so it can melt down some. And now let's get back to these asparagus. I think I'm gonna take the fish out the pan now because that's done. That's my Santa Claus cookie plate that the boys picked out for Christmas. I thought he was cute because he had a tinted Santa Claus on there. They had like in Target a whole section that had like all different races of Santa Clauses, which I thought was so awesome. So we got the little tinted man. Or tan, should I say. Okay, so we got all the fish taken out of the pan. And I'm not really a sauce girl, but this would be the perfect opportunity to make a sauce in that pan with all those bits that are in there from the fish. I'm basically going to wipe it down. I think I'm going to pour it out because it was a little bit too juicy. But the pan is like super seasoned from the fish now, so I didn't even wash it out. I'm just going to use that same pan to cook my asparagus in. I'm going to put a little bit more extra virgin olive oil. And asparagus, you guys know, cooks, and like you barely have to cook it. Especially if you like it crunchy like I do. You put it in the pan for legit a couple minutes and it's done. So again, here I go with the garlic because of course I put garlic in everything. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons, that's a teaspoon, of garlic. Lemon pepper is also really good on asparagus. I don't know if you guys have ever tried that, but I accidentally thought that I was putting garlic salt on my asparagus one time, and it was lemon pepper, and it was honestly one of the best mistakes I ever made. It was delicious. I actually do that often now. I put lemon pepper on there if it matches what meal I'm cooking. So I'm going to put some pepper and some salt. I'm using table salt right here because I think I ran out of sea salt, which I usually use sea salt on everything because it's my favorite. And then this is also my favorite. There's garlic and herb seasoning. I got that seasoning from Ali's, and it was literally like $1.99, and it is the best. You can put it on anything, roasted chicken, you can put it on steak, you can put it on veggies. It makes everything taste really good. It's like garlic and herbs. I'm just gonna mix those around in the pan a few times, and then those babies are gonna be done. You guys, when you eat at home, the calorie difference is astronomical. Like, even if I was, okay, so we go to Chili's every once in a while, or we go to like Outback. So when I go to Outback, if I get, when you look at their menu, they have a salmon stuffed, no, it's like a stuffed salmon, and you get two sides with it. So I usually get the baked sweet potato with like the honey butter and brown sugar and seasonal vegetables. You guys, that meal is 1,300 calories by itself. I don't know what the heck they put on those seasonings or on those foods for it to be that, but this is not going to be that many calories by far. 1,300 calories, that's how much you should eat in a whole day. So when you cook it at home, you're fine. You're not intaking all those calories with sodium and trans fats and all that other stuff. So, and it tastes better and it costs way less. I cooked this meal for the price that we would have paid at Outback for one salmon meal. I cooked enough for 6 people. So I'm going to make a plate. We put a piece of salmon on there, a few potatoes, and some asparagus. And we are good to go. And again, I paid like $22 at Aldi's for this entire meal. And if you look on any of the websites, Carrabba's, Outback, all of those restaurants are charging about that for one dish of salmon. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.